thanks for coming, Sanjay, to talk about what it means to be a humble hero, right? And essentially what we're trying to get at is the challenge of sort of driving things to happen, making things occur, bringing people, rallying people around in a world where you're never really sure if you have the right answer, and actually being willing to admit you didn't and learn from it, right? So the capacity to lead, but the capacity to know you need others with you and you can learn from your mistakes, right? So if you think about this notion of humble heroes, I just described it, is that a construct that is important in today's world?
So I can share a nice little anecdote which happened with one of our partners. So one of our partners in India used to write, whenever he used to write, he used to say, "This is my humble request." And one day I thought that I should pick him up and ask him, "Why do you write humble request all the time?" And I asked him, "Humble means that you should be able to take an answer as no. But I don't think you are ready to take no. It's always yes." So that's humble in my mind. But just taking your point forward, Blair, I really appreciate that today's time, you cannot have a single-minded approach. You need diversity, and diverse views will come with many people providing their insights. And if you need insights from many people, you need to be friendly with them. You need to be able to influence what you are trying to say, and even taking their inputs into consideration.
So are there people that you can think of that sort of epitomize this capacity to get an organization to take action, but actually are willing to admit that they don't really know the direction and they'll learn as they go, the way you describe that? Who comes to mind who's really good at that?
Kids. So kids come to my mind that they are, in my mind, the best humble hero. And when you look at kids, so what are we looking at? We're looking at three things. We're looking at someone who takes decision quickly, someone who is confident, and someone who is not arrogant, which means the person is ready to learn from failures.
So let's take this to client. Why is it important in the client context for us to be able to drive change but learn, be humble enough to involve other people in a shared vision? Why is that important?
So to my mind, when you look at the clients, there are multiple challenges, and everyone wants to grow. Everyone wants to be the best. And in the current market scenario, you cannot reach there without innovating. Innovating is all about new things. Innovating is all about incremental things. And if you want to innovate, you need diverse minds. So I have clearly two perspectives here, one from our side and one from the client side. From our side is that the diversity will come only by working together, and we spoke about it. And the other side, I think you need to work with a client in such a manner that the client imbibes this principle of ours, which is to fail is okay. Can we co-create products? Can we co-create solutions? And in that journey, we could fail. And if we fail, we'll stand up and we'll find the solution again. And I think that if that happens, it'll be a different world.
How do you grow this? How do you develop it? So, I mean, you know, because people aren't naturally people who will step out and get others to cohere on an idea. And I agree that as kids we do it, and as kids we know to be humble. But you know, at some point ego gets involved, and we get trained not to make mistakes, right? And I have to be perfect. How do you learn to sort of have the humility to learn from the mistakes and accept others? How do you get both of those? How do you build both together?
I can share my story, and probably resonates with what we are talking. It's 20 years in the firm, and in the 20 years, one of the things right from day one, what I did was making more friends than colleagues. And this friendship helped me connect with people so well. So today you build that trust with each other, which is beyond your role. And if I go to someone and I say, guys, we need to do this, they don't take it as an authority. They take it as someone who is trusted and he is trying to tell us for everyone's good.
So and let me come back to this issue of humility in a sense. Part of, I think, what you're saying is the more sincere the relationship I have with somebody, the easier it is for me to say, look, I don't know if we're doing this the right way, right? Have we made a mistake? Where if I'm actually sort of don't know you and we have this distant relationship, it becomes harder for me to say, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So real relationships permit someone to be a humble hero. Purely transactional relationships makes it harder.
I agree with you.
That's interesting, really interesting. So do we need it more tomorrow to have people who can do that, or less?
We need more and more.
Why?
Because if I look at, so we were on a client meeting, and we were talking about the transformation agenda the client wants to go through, and the client had not thought about the rural market of India, which we call it the other India. We've already captured the big India. Now that conversation required someone to have an understanding of the rural market of India. If you haven't been to that market, you cannot talk about that market. There were junior people in this room who came from those villages as part of the PwC team. And we all agreed with each other that we may be senior guys, we are from the Mumbai market, but we will not be able to solve this problem without these junior people who know that market very well. You cannot find the solution without joining hands. And you need to accept that you have this and you don't have this.